Afternoon to all of you. We are approaching towards the closer of the lightning session. So last in the queue, but not the least, it's one of the important topics that is buzzing the industry, which is the breaches that are happening across many of the enterprises, which is making cybersecurity as one of the main career focus for the next years to come. So why we should be talking about cybersecurity and why there has to be a model which will predict the breach. This is in focus. I'll show you some of the information, and again, this is more informative. A lot of work still needs to be done in the back end. We can go back and research and then improvise these models. Why we are talking, those who attended the previous session, that's because lot of things are being stolen, and there could be your information as well. A lot of the sites you are registering, providing your detailed information. You can go to a site identitytheft.com. So they have a tool where you can register or give your email address, and you can find out whether your email ID has been hacked or not. So they search the dark web, they search the deep web, and come back to you. And there is information is beautiful, which captures all the breaches that happens across the world. So these are some of the breaches that you see. Equifax is the latest, which happened last year, and is one of the biggest breaches, which is now making cybersecurity a lot of CISOs, a lot of CEOs are concerned about. So, so what is that we are looking at? So we are looking at 100 plus attack vectors. We have SIEM solutions which are placed. We have IDS, IPS, intrusion detection and prevention systems which are deployed. But still, a lot of information or a lot of attackers, the hackers. If you have attended Deepak's session, he hacked into one of the sites, and he showed how easy it is if you are not ensuring the safe coding practices. So 100 plus attack vectors, and you have lots of devices and applications in your enterprises. And it's too much data then to look into and prioritize what to address first. So these are some of the questions that we keep on hearing from a lot of customers. Where are attackers or attacks are likely to happen? So I have my entire perimeter where that hacker is starting with to enter into my premise. How will an attack propagate? So what exactly is the point where they're starting and how they're entering into my perimeter? Whether they're starting outside, they have got into my DMZ, or now they're into my internal database system. What is it? What key assets and gaps will adversaries go after? So I have so much critical assets, what they're exactly going after, and how effective are my security controls? So that's the $1,000,000 questions which we need to answer. So I'm invested in cybersecurity. I have bought these many tools. Are they enough? So that's the question we are looking to answer, and we have been doing it traditionally, and the modern age technology or the thing of the future says that implement whatever we are learning through artificial intelligence or machine learning, then tell me where exactly I'm likely to hit. Point me that server where they have already compromised or they are likely to get compromised. So I'm not going to get into the artificial intelligence or the machine learning because there were experts who had already taken the sessions. But what do we do? So much data that we saw, right? 100 plus attack vectors, there are so many applications, there are so many devices. So let's get all that data into a place where we can normalize and model those data and train those data so that our machine learning implied with artificial intelligence, which we can source from multiple sources, be it vulnerability intelligence or be it threat intelligence. If we can correlate all these information, then we would have a risk-aware IOC indicator of compromise, which can be then handled. And these are a lot of information which is available. So I'll just show you which we did for one of the customers. Again, abstracted. So we had close to about 10,000 vulnerabilities, which we remediated in a span of 1 year. And then what we did was we trained that model or data to predict how much a developer will take time to fix a vulnerability. So next time a vulnerability comes up, we can go back to the developer that, okay, the last time you fixed it in 90 days, and the system is also predicting you are going to take close to about 80 or 90 days or 70 days. So you need to act upon it soon, because your information security policy says you need to act upon it within 60 days. Okay, and we use the different models: linear regression, support vector machine algorithm, and the SVM poly, and we found that the SVM radial basis was close to about 63% accurate in terms of predicting how much time it would take. So imagine the space we are getting into. We can use this to predict a lot of stuff. Just not the vulnerability timeline it will take to remediate, but in terms of where exactly the hack is likely to happen based on the data we would have accumulated. So here is a vendor who is already into this particular environment, and they are telling you exactly where you are likely to hit. So Bulbix is one of the vendor, and there are so many new startups which are coming up, accumulating your data. So we have to aggregate, we have to provide all this information, and they will be able to give you such information. Unfortunately, they didn't allow me to show the video, so I'm just showing one of the references. Now, hackers are going to hack into, as we saw in today's session also. Prior to what happened, Deepak showed one of the sessions where things are still out in the open, you can get into, and you will keep on getting into the environment. So what do we need to do? We need to find exactly the place where the hack is likely to happen. You can see what will they go after. So you have your servers prioritized. So based on the logs that we are capturing, if we apply those machine learning and we model the data, then we would be able to pinpoint exactly where they are likely to strike you. Or if this is your critical asset, then you immediately need to look into it. So that's pretty much it. Just for reference. If any questions, otherwise, thank you very much.